Avengers assemble! Oh my god, it's hot in this big ass jacket. Oh yes. Alright, hey. Okay, I'll put that away later. What's up guys, X47 here, and we're back with another top 5 review video, and this one is my top 5 favorite Marvel movies. And this one might actually be my longest video, so sit tight, grab some butter, popcorn, and sippy cup, and let's get the show on the road. So again, this might be my longest one, so sit tight, and because there's a huge list and a lot of honorable mentions. Well, kind of a lot of honorable mentions, but so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so coming up at number 5, as much as I don't, for the upcoming movie, as much as I don't, I forgot to staple my cards, as much as I don't care for this character coming up in the next Captain America movie, I will say that his first movie out of all three of his, this one was my favorite, and it is Iron Man 1. So like the origin story of how Iron Man came to be, and it's a great movie. I loved how it turned out. I remember when I first saw it, it wasn't in theaters, but it was on DVD. When it came out on DVD, because I didn't really care for Iron Man, never really did, but it was a great movie, turned out to be an amazing movie. So the thing about Iron Man is that, or Iron Man 1, is that it was just a huge outbreak for movie technology, the way they did the Iron Man suit, and the flying of the Iron Man suit, and the fighting with the Iron Man suit. Great movie. It was an awesome movie. Came out a long time ago though, but it was such a good movie, and it's still considered one of my top 5 favorite Marvel movies. So good job, Iron Man. You're still my enemy though, as you can tell. You're my enemy now. So okay, next up was also actually featured in another one of my top 5 favorite movies of 2015, and this one is Age of Ultron. So the Avengers 2 Age of Ultron is my fourth favorite out of my top 5. Is my fourth favorite Marvel movie, and it was definitely a lot better than the first Avengers movie, I would say. It had, like, you know, like the point in the Avengers is there's supposed to be like an internal conflict between the Avengers and the whole group, and this one definitely shows that when Tony Stark goes out and makes Ultron and makes a big mistake of doing that. So I love how there's that conflict in between everyone. You know, everyone's after Tony, everyone wanted to fight each other, and that movie has one of the best moments, I believe, in Marvel history. Marvel movie history, I guess. I will say for sure. It had like those moments where, if you watch the movie, where Hawkeye was sitting there with Scarlet Witch saying, you know, you can do whatever you want. You can either sit here, but I'm going back out there because it's my job. But the moment you walk out the door, those doors, you become an Avenger. So that was pretty cool. I love that scene. I also love the scene where they're talking about how, like, where they find out, oh, you're the one that released Ultron, you're the one that made him. So, and then Captain America says that, oh, we'll fight together, we'll do it together. And then Iron Man, or Tony Stark, says, then we'll lose, we'll die. And then Captain America proceeds to say, then we'll do that together too. You know, that was just a heartbreaking, not really heartbreaking, but a heart-taking moment. So it was really awesome. Great movie, great movie. Okay, next one is very, I mean, like a couple of weeks recent that came out. Number 3 is, I wouldn't call him a superhero. Technically, he is a superhero, but I wouldn't really say per se he's a superhero. He's more of just a mutant that's a badass, likes chimichangas, makes a lot of dirty jokes, and kills people, and loves doing it. So this one is Deadpool. This movie just came out, and this is number 3. It made it to number 3 on my list after watching it. It was a really funny movie, really good movie. I'm not gonna spoil it that much. Can't really say much about it. If I were to rate it out of 10, I give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, about a 9 out of 10. You know, so it could have made 10 out of 10, but there was one thing about it that I just didn't really care for. I feel like that if they didn't do it, it would have been a much better film. But at the same time, it kind of worked though. It still worked. It was still a great movie, a wonderful movie. I loved it. So, Deadpool, you make number 3. If you haven't seen it, go out and watch it, but don't tear your kids. And if you're really like, if you're easily offended, I definitely wouldn't want to go see this movie either. However, it was definitely a really good movie. You know, minus all the. I mean, well, you can't really minus anything because the whole entire movie is just him making dirty jokes, and it's just a movie you should like look up reviews on and find out. I'm not gonna review it because well, I don't want to spoil anything, but definitely go check it out if you haven't yet. So that's definitely worth the watch. I might go see it again just because it was that good. So. Okay, the next one was a very. It's an amazing movie. I give it a 10 out of 10 every single time, no matter what. It didn't make number 1 though, so coming up number 2 is a movie that really hit me emotionally, in a way. So, number 2 is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. When this came out, I was enthused. I was so happy when this was announced and it came out, and I went to go see it within like opening day, and I can't even describe how amazing this movie was. There are so many moments where it was it had just the best scenes. The opening itself was just purely, I can't even describe the opening. It was just amazing. That's the only word I can really use. It's just amazing. It's incredible. But it had a lot of dialogue and a lot of the conversations that really just touched me in a way that not a lot of movies do. So it's definitely one of my favorites. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. I quote this movie a lot because a lot of the things that this movie say is true. Like when Nick Fury tells the story about his grandfather, Captain America, Nick Fury says, "My grandfather loved people, but he doesn't trust them." And that's a quote that will stick with me forever, along with Captain America saying his famous line, "I'm with you till the end of the line," which is actually my senior quote in my high school. So Captain America: Winter Soldier, you definitely make it. But there's one movie that just slipped right by and that really surprised me and might surprise you guys. So, alright, well, it's a top 5 video, so what's coming up. It's coming up real quick right here. Honorable mentions. So this one's gonna be, I'm gonna try and get through the honorable mentions as fast as possible, but because there's a lot I want to talk about them, but I can't really do that because there's a lot. So let's get started. Number 1, my honorable mentions aren't in any order. It's just the first one I'll mention. Is the Incredible Hulk. Now this is the Incredible Hulk where it had to tie in with the Avengers. So the most recent Hulk movie, I'll say. An amazing movie. I loved it. It really plus they brought in Abomination, so that was really cool that they did that. The Incredible Hulk is one of my honorable mentions. It's I haven't watched it in a long time though, and I'm trying to find it so I can pick it up and get it as cheap as I can. But it was a great movie. I loved it. I haven't seen it in a long time, like I said, but Incredible Hulk, you get the honorable mention. Next honorable mention is The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. So instead of just saying, The Amazing Spider-Man 1, and then going on to say number 2, I'm just going to go both of them at the same time. So Andrew Garfield was basically, an amazing Spider-Man. He did such a wonderful job. So Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, I saw them both in theaters, and they were just mind-blowingly incredible. I loved what they did. They were really spot on with the comics until they got to the second one. So, again, great movie. There's not much I can say about it. It's just, if you haven't seen them, they're amazing. Hence the name Amazing Spider-Man. So, I would definitely go ahead and go check those 2 movies out. It really captivated the comics, which is what I really liked. A lot of the story was from that. So I really like that. Definitely go check it out if you haven't. The next one is the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, specifically number 1 and 2. So they made Spider-Man 1 and then Spider-Man 2, the one with the Green Goblin, the one with Dr. Octopus. Spider-Man 2 is actually a long favorited one. A long favorited one of mine, and great movie. I loved it. Tobey Maguire will definitely forever be my Spider-Man. I grew up with him, so. Great movies, I should say. it just, there's a lot of moments from the Spider-Man 2 with Dr. Octopus with Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, that really, again, like the Winter Soldier had touched me. Like, you know, it made me feel like more human than I've ever felt. And that's what I look for when I watch movies. But it's only an honorable mention because it could have been done a lot better. But it was still a good movie. It was a really good movie, I would say. The next one is the First Avengers movie. So the First Avengers movie, I saw this in theaters, and I remember I went with my two friends, and I was blown away. I was so happy that how it turned out, how I was just so amazed. It was just an amazing movie. Those came out a while ago, but I was so excited when this got announced, and being a huge Marvel fan that I am, a huge Captain America, huge Avenger fan, so I was really excited when it came out, and I was just like, oh my god, finally we got some Avenger action going on. Finally we got the team together. We've seen all the movies, all the solo movies, now we got them put together in one. So that was amazing. Amazing movie. So I liked what Marvel did with all these build-up movies to build up to the Avengers. So I like how they planned it all out and stuff, and how every movie is connected in some way. So like there's a lot of Easter eggs. If you go back, you can see a bunch of Easter eggs. So Avengers, you're definitely an honorable mention because you were a great movie. The last honorable mention is Thor, and I'm talking about Thor 1, when he was first announced. So Thor, the second Thor I didn't really care for. It was nice. It was a great movie, but I mean I loved the first Thor. The first Thor was, I guess the second Thor would be an honorable mention too, because they're both good movies. But and of course the new Thor movie coming out pretty soon. So Thor 1, you get an honorable mention. I always loved Thor. Thor was that really cool guy. Him and Captain America were just a team match made. You slam Thor's hammer on Captain America's shield, and it's just wham, earthquake status all the way around. So Thor, you get an honorable mention too, because that was just a great movie too. I mean, it definitely it was nice to see Thor grow as a person in that movie. That's what it was for. That's what I felt like it was for. Thor grew as a wonderful person. He grew to be more of a god. He became, no, not more of a god, more of a man than a god. So I really like that. So you get the honorable mention, Thor. And let's get on to number 1. Alright, number 1. This one, scratch. This one was a surprise for me, and might be a surprise for you guys if you guys really know me all that well. Number 1 was none other than AntMan. Now, when I first saw AntMan, when I first saw the trailers and all the previews and stuff, the posters and everything, I just thought, who the hell is this guy? Who is AntMan? I never even heard of him before. So I guess you can't really say I'm a huge Marvel fan, but AntMan, I never heard of him. Not really that I heard of him, but I don't know much about him. I didn't know anything. So I decided not to do research for this one. And it was still out in theaters, and people were just saying that it's the best Marvel movie so far that came out. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to test that theory. So I went to go see AntMan. I went to go see this one alone, I believe. A lot of these movies I went alone, actually, I believe. No, AntMan was the only one I went alone with. So, AntMan, wow. That was best Marvel movie out there. 11 out of 10, I would say. It was just a really good Marvel movie put together, you know? I mean, AntMan was just that. I don't even know how to describe it. Such a great movie. It's finally on DVD, so I can't wait to get it and watch it over and over again. It's a good movie. I gotta say, it's a really good movie. You guys haven't seen it, definitely go ahead and check it out. So AntMan, good on you, man. Good on you. It was a huge surprise because I wasn't expecting anything. Like how I went to go see Deadpool, I wasn't expecting anything, and with not expecting anything, I was blown away by an incredible movie. So AntMan takes number 1. This is X47, and I hope you guys have been liking my top 5 series. If you want to go ahead and put more ideas, put them in the comments below. I still got some more ideas going in my mind, but if you guys have any, go ahead and put it in the comments right there below, and I'll jump right on them. So I thought this one was a long overdue one. I might do a top 5 DC movies next, because I'm a fan of all pop culture. I'm not just a fan of just Marvel or any one thing. I'm a huge fan of like all these type of movies and video games and stuff like that. So hey, if you guys enjoy the videos, you know what to do. Leave a comment, subscribe. I'm one more away from hitting 60 subscribers. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. My hair's sticking out. I can't do anything about it. So, this is not Captain America. This is X-47, and hopefully you guys have a wonderful day. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful time, and don't ever forget that I'm with you guys till the end of the line. Wha-bam!